Are you setting up a smart home? Or are you just looking for some tips for your existing smart home? Here are my top 10 smart home tips. Hello tech friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Craig. I love playing with tech and seeing what it can do for us. If that sounds like something you're into, stick around. Over the past 3 years, I've grown my smart home bit by bit. I've also learned so much as I did my Echo series. I'd like to share with you 10 of my smart home tips. Actually, I appreciate you watching so much, I'll put a bonus one at the end, so stay tuned all the way to the end. You can find links to videos I made about each of these tips or links to the products I talk about in the description. Number 1 tip is picking the right smart assistant. I had a 2-year weekly Echo series and tend to prefer Amazon Echoes. But Google Assistant is awesome and offers so much good stuff. Apple is even stepping up their game big time. But before deciding which one of the 3 major assistants, you should really think about the services you already use and how they could tie in with your smart assistant. What music streaming services do you use? Are you an iPhone or an Android user? How do you stream TV or movies? Who is your email and calendar provider? All of these are things to think about. Even though I'm 90% Apple across my devices, Siri, HomeKit, and HomePod don't offer as much as Alexa and Google Assistant. I picked Alexa over Google because I can listen to Apple Music, connect my calendar, stream Hulu on my Echo shows. It works best with my Ring Video Doorbell, and there's just more things that tie into my world. If you're an Android user, use the suite of Gmail apps, watch a lot of YouTube, have YouTube Music, or maybe can't stand Alexa, then Google Assistant may be right for you. Maybe you don't want your smart assistant to do that much for you. In that case, you have Siri and the HomePod. I'm just kidding. I own a HomePod, and I've actually been really impressed with some of the stuff Apple's doing with HomeKit. So don't dismiss them. Stay tuned for some more videos about the HomePod. Number 2 tip would be to use smart switches. Often people think about smart lighting or smart plugs. Both are great options, but require you to use your voice or an app to turn them on. The beauty of a smart switch is that it gives you all of the smart capabilities, but holds on to the old school dumb switch too. I know I don't want to always use my voice for my lights or having to bring up an app, especially when I'm on my way to get my morning coffee. No. There are also times that it just makes more sense to have a switch, especially in places where you have more traffic or guests. My wife would kill me if she had to use her voice in the kitchen all the time just to turn on the kitchen lights. So in the kitchen, I'd put in the TP-Link Casa smart dimmers and have been very happy with them. There's links below for the dimmer version and the switch. You could check them out. They were easy to install and act like a normal switch. But now I can group them with other switches. I could automate them with routines and just use my voice along with all my other lights. Number 3 would be cameras out, not in. Personally, I do not want cameras in the house. I love my Ring Video Doorbell and the extra peace of mind it brings. I like that Wisecams makes great cameras at a great price. But I don't need my house to have cameras that could be turned on to observe the inside of my house. There have been enough instances in the past couple of years where passwords have been leaked and some not so nice people have taken advantage of the cameras in people's houses. This Christmas, a little girl was terrorized by someone who was able to log in to the Ring camera that was in her room. No kid should ever have to deal with that. Nest has had similar instances a few years back, where people have tormented families. A few years back, Ring had developers in the Ukraine that were given a little too open access to Ring's video footage. Amazon recently fired some employees for peeping on people. Wise recently had a security breach, but no information has come out showing people using others' cameras against them. Unfortunately, it's the natures of tech, passwords, and cameras, so why have them on in your house? Do you really need to see inside of your house? That's up to you. Me? No. Number 4 is also a camera related tip. It's put cameras in your windows facing out. Why spend the money to buy an expensive outdoor camera that really isn't going to look much better than this? Once you buy that outdoor camera, how are you going to power it, charge the batteries for it, or are you going to pay more and get a solar version? I like that I can get an indoor Wisecam for about $25, or you could get a Ring indoor stick-up cam for about $50. I'll put links below to both of those cameras. If I wanted to, I could put a camera in every window of the house looking outside for about the same price or even less than 1 or 2 good outdoor Ring or Nest cameras. Number 5 is match your doorbell with your assistant. For example, if you're using Amazon Echo devices, buy a Ring video doorbell. If you're using Google Home or Nest Home devices, buy a Nest video doorbell. Using an Echo Show and a Ring doorbell allows you to answer the door and speak to the person from your Echo Show. You can do the same thing with Google Nest Hub and Nest Hello doorbell. There are more and more good video doorbell options, but to me it's hard to beat the integration that Ring and Nest have. I've been very happy with my Ring video doorbell. You can find links to the one I use and a video I made on it down in the description. Number 6 is create an ecosystem. Building a smart home can be expensive, and you may not be able to buy everything at the same time. But think about what you'd like to build towards. Think about what assistants you want your devices to work about. Think about limiting the amount of different manufacturers. It's so easy to buy a lot of different devices and end up with way too many individual apps. Yes, your assistant can tie them together, but by making choices like with the doorbell and the assistant, you get more out of your individual devices. If you buy something like this Wisecam, later you can expand by getting their bulbs, the smart plugs, the sensors, and now they even offer a smart lock. You will find that there's options within the Wise apps that will help you get more out of those individual devices, as opposed to if you had purchased from all different manufacturers. One of the things I consider with all my stuff is that it works with HomeKit, Google Assistant, and Amazon. I want to be able to use all of the assistants at any time. To have that flexibility in here, I went with LifeX for my lighting, and I have some iHome smart plugs for this light and a light above me. Now I can take advantage of the benefits that each assistant may have. They all will listen to voice, but HomeKit is the only one that I can actually use to touch my phone to a little sticker I have here that will change the lights and turn them on to this video look. So for me, that flexibility is important. But for you, just think about what your end goal is with your smart home. Number 7 is grouping your smart devices. In HomeKit and Google Assistant, you have rooms that you could organize your devices by. With Amazon Echoes, you can use groups. When you have rooms or groups, you can ask for lights by the name of the room or group. The nice part about Google Assistant rooms or Amazon groups is that once you have an Echo or Google Home paired within those groups, you can just say, Alexa, lights off. Organizing your devices just makes using them easier. Number 8 tip is using sensors. Take advantage of triggering routines and automations with sensors. I have a Philips Hue sensor that triggers a scene in HomeKit to turn on lights when I come in the room. I made a video recently on using sensors to trigger routines on an Echo. For that video, I used a $20 Wise Sense Kit, which came with 2 of these door sensors, 1 motion sensor, and with that, you do need a cam that's $25 so that you can plug the little hub into. So $45, 3 sensors, and now I can trigger all different types of routine. So check out that video. I'll put the link below. Also, I'll link up the Wise Sense Kit and camera. Number 9 is scheduling automations. There are things that you're gonna do every day. Why not have your smart device take care of it for you? With confidence, I can say tonight the sun will go down. We even have a name for it. We call it sunset. Well, great thing is that with the different assistants and smart devices, there are sunset options for routines. I use routines in my living room. What I've done is I have a routine that turns on 1 light in a darker corner of my living room at 3:30 p.m. At sunset, the remaining lights in the room come up. At 11 p.m., the lights turn off by themselves. If I'm in the room, it's a good indication I should probably go to bed. But if I still need them on, I just say lights on. Another example is my daughter has a night light that I put on an extra smart plug that turns on at 7 p.m. and off at 7 a.m. Yes, you could put one of those night lights with the dusk to dawn, but I had a smart plug, I had a night light, bada bang, bada boom, done. There's so many things you can automate, and it really comes down to finding out what task you do regularly and if you can trigger it with a routine. Number 10 is smart plugs. Get some smart plugs and an Echo Dot and you're good to start a smart home. You put those smart plugs on your favorite lamps, now you don't have to walk over to turn it on. You all know you have that one light that you have to go turn a light on and then go walk over to turn that light on to then go walk and turn the other one back off. You know what I'm talking about. I had it in my bedroom. I turn on the overhead light to turn on the light next to my bed to then go turn the overlight off to then get into bed. With smart plug, you say lights on. Done. Take advantage of it. You could use smart plugs like I was saying, and you could automate tasks using routines or automations. Maybe you want to put a fan on a smart plug so at a certain time of day it turns on to cool off the room. You want to make the Christmas tree lights smart. Throw a plug on it. Smart plugs can open up a lot and really depends on your imagination. Now the bonus tip is don't cheap out. That doesn't mean you have to buy the most expensive devices. It means just do your homework and understand that sometimes the good stuff costs more. I do entertainment lighting for a living, and I know what professional LEDs look like. I wanted lights that had really saturated, deep colors. And I understand I'm not going to get that out of a really cheap smart bulb. That doesn't mean someone is not making the same quality of LED bulbs at LifeX at a cheaper cost. But it does mean I need to read reviews, do my homework, and accept it if it does cost more for what I wanted to achieve. There's so many options for smart devices on Amazon, but 98% of them I would never buy no matter what the cost is. It's easy to get sucked in by low price, and you end up with a product that might be junk. Personally, when it comes to things that require power or controlling power, I'm going to be picky. I don't want a cheap smart plug or switch to melt and start a fire in my house. Same thing with bulbs. You don't mess around with electricity. Pay a little extra if there's a chance this could go wrong on you. With this channel, I get offered so many tech products I don't even want to put out there in videos because I don't know the company behind it. I don't want you all to buy something that was cheap and it dies on you because I made a video on it. Sometimes when you buy cheap, you end up buying twice. So it's good to do your homework. Be reasonable with cost and reasonable with expectations. I think building up a smart home can be a lot of fun. I hope this helps give you some more ideas as you build up your own. Do you have any smart home tips you'd like to share? Put them down in the comment section. Next, make sure to check out this video over here to learn about 10 Alexa tips and tricks. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.